Alright guys, we are redoing the substrate in our Rosehairs enclosure, and I wish I did a shot before we took everything out so you know what the before looked like, but if you've been watching our videos, you've seen what it looks like. If not, go ahead and check them out. But we took the substrate out. The substrate's over here, and a lot of people will bake it. We decided not to because she's not showing any signs of illness, so we took out all the poop and all the webbing and just fluffed it up real good so that when we put it back it was almost like it was new. And I cleaned this out with some dish detergent, washed it out, rinsed it out real good, got all the poop out, and we've actually got her in the little critter keeper. She doesn't look happy, so we're going to hurry up and get this done.
First time I ever saw a threat pose out of her was getting her out of her enclosure.
Now, I highly suggest if you don't have a face mask when you do this, you buy one, because we've been sneezing our butts off trying to get this substrate going. And also, when you get done dealing with the substrate, wash your hands thoroughly.
You can get bacteria from handling substrate. It's called ringworm, and I have gotten it multiple times dealing with substrate, especially the briquettes that you have to soak.
So we're throwing that out there. Right now he's just making it level and just getting it set up to put the pot in there.
This is just your normal flower pot. It looks old and rickety, but this is, she likes her deep hide. Our other one doesn't even like to go in her hide, so but she does like her deep hide, so we make sure that she has it, and she likes it tilted back. I don't know why, but that's just the way she is. Each of our teas, each of our spiders have their own personality. So, but I usually sit that in, and then I start pouring right back in.
Dusty.
And I like to make her a hill right on the back side because she's a climber. So
we've seen her on the glass and on the screen lid.
I like to give her enough room to climb. And flatten all this out.
That's our beer he's making racket over there.
Yeah, if you hear any thumping, they're over there. They're over there loving on each other. Alright, and then I'm going to do greenery just because I like the way that it looks, and they tend to web in it and they like it, and maybe this will keep her from climbing on the glass, but we're just going to try it. This is the first time I've put any type of plants or fake plants inside her enclosure. And then we'll put this is the water dishes that we use. My water dishes come from my local Chinese food restaurant. They're the lids to it. Anybody wondering, I get the egg drop soup. But these are perfect. Add a little bit of water. Dump that out, it's dusty.
And if you have any substrate leading into your bowl, it will suck that stuff dry. So make sure that you don't have any substrate in your bowl.
Yeah, any type of substrate will suck the moisture straight out of the bowl. You can actually have one piece of the moss just leaning inside the bowl, and it will absorb the moisture out of the bowl. You might think that your spider or your tea or your any type of lizard, any type of reptile might be thirsty, but no. But I mist this down, make sure there's no puddles, and I just missed it for a little bit of humidity. The humidity helps these guys molt, so she's looking like she might be due for one. And this is, if you have seen of our other videos, this is Itsy. She's the one who likes to climb on the sides, so, you know, that's why I make her a heel. She never comes on this side of the screen top. She always stays over here. I'd say that's a smart tarantula for you. But we're just going to go ahead and ease her right in here. And I use the critter keepers. I like to use this one specifically because it's clear. And then just tap her out. Come on. Come on. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. There you go. And that's it for her, and we're going to do Rosie in just a few. And we'll do a before and after shot of her. We didn't get it. This was an impromptu video. So
We'll be right back. Alright, this is Rosie's tank. As you can see, the substrate looks a little flat and it's losing its just contours and dimensions. So we're going to show you how we are putting Rosie in the critter carrier. She has been giving us threat poses lately, and so we figured might as well show y'all guys so you know how to handle it when your T does it as well.
she's just like any other woman. That's what. Not just. That's what it is. Come on. No.
You just gotta ease them on in there. If you start tapping on it too hard, you can possibly damage them.
Lose a leg. There you go. Easy does it.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the same thing we did to Itzy's. We're going to take all the webbing out. We're going to take the hide out. As you can see, she's done a lot of webbing. She'll probably be upset that we're taking it off. But she'll lay new webbing down and we'll just revamp it up for pretty much like a remodel. So we'll be right back after we take out the substrate. It's a two-person job, so, well, at least it is for us. I like to clean it, so. But we'll be right back and we'll show you the same thing as we showed you on Itzy's. Alright guys, we're going to add the substrate into Rosie's enclosure. We washed it with some dish soap. I use Dawn and I make sure I rinse it out really good.
And it kills mites.
So I'm not going to say don't use chemical free stuff because you can hardly find it. The only chemical free thing I know to use is vinegar, and just rinse it out really well and make sure that nothing that you use contains pesticides. So without further ado, let's the dusting begin. If you don't have a face mask, hold your breath.
What I'm doing now is setting up where the hide's going to be. And I pat the middle down so that way it won't be so flat for her. They don't dig, so I'm going to try to, she didn't like her hide before, so hopefully we can make it just a little bit higher for her. But with me patting this down, it allows the sides to be a lot higher, so it allows a bigger hole for her to get in. And I angle her back, bigger hole, I can fit my whole hand in there. Perfect. And I'm going to add the rest of the substrate. So I always put it on top. Our Rosehair that we're putting in here is Rosie, she doesn't climb, but she likes a lot of the space. She likes to walk around. So I just want to make sure she's got a lot of space to walk around and it's not all flat. And I think it looks pretty cool.
If I was a tarantula, I'd dig it.
Alright, greenery. She hasn't ever had greenery in her enclosure, but it seems like all my other teas like it, so I'm just going to add a little bit and push it kind of into the substrate. And we usually use a Chinese food bowl, but I use this one because when I got her, this is the one that it came with. Oh. I do push it down in the substrate, and I put no water in it before I push it down into the substrate, and I dump whatever substrate's left out, and then make sure it's kind of like a hill going up to it without any of the substrate being in there. Now, everybody's not going to do it the same way that I do it. I've learned since I've started being in this hobby of just reptiles in general and tarantulas that everybody does everything different. People in the UK will do it different than the people in the US. People in Canada will do it different than the people in the US and the UK. People in Georgia will do it different than people in Florida. So I appreciate everybody's input. I don't get butt hurt, so I will always take advice. It's no big deal. Fill that up, let it overflow a little bit, and then I can pack that in there. Then I missed it. And I don't miss this like I would like my pink toes enclosure. I usually just mist it so that way, you know, it helps them molt the humidity. So, especially if I redo their enclosure, I like to add just a little bit of moisture. Alright, now we're going to put her back in there, and she's been a pain. She likes to show us a threat pose every time we mess with her. So, here she is. She's coming right to the top. She turned around and said, "Get me out of this thing." So, I'm going to get close to the bottom, and I'm going to unhook it, and she just comes right out. She says, "I don't like being in that little bitty thing." And that is Rosie. And you see, she's a little small. I think she's going to get ready to molt before too long. She hasn't eaten. So, but these things are notorious for going long periods of time, like fasting, without eating. So, that's what fasting means, just in case anybody else didn't know. And, but this is rehousing our 2 Rosehair tarantulas. And hope you like it. Like, subscribe, enjoy. Check us out on Facebook. If you got any comments or anything, just, you know, put it down at the bottom. Like I said, we don't get our feelings hurt if you got some input. Everybody does things different, and if you got a cooler way of doing it or an easier way of doing it, just let us know.
Alright, see you guys.